Two strangers, then 17-year-old Cesar Morales and 23-year-old Kyle Harrison, decided to race their cars at speeds reaching more than 100 miles per hour, according to prosecutors. And in a matter of seconds, that reckless behavior would forever change the lives of an innocent family. 44-year-old Greg Ammen and 42-year-old Grace Spiridon were driving home from dinner with their 7-year-old twin daughters, Madison and Olivia. And as they turned onto El Camino Real, Morales' Mercedes T-boned their Chevy Bolt, according to a wrongful death lawsuit, which we will get into in a minute. But the impact was catastrophic. Greg, Grace, they were killed instantly, but miraculously, those twin girls survived the crash. But Grace's sister told the San Mateo Daily Journal that the girls were left covered in their parents' blood. How horrific is that? Now, in the aftermath, the community rallied around Madison and Olivia. GoFundMe raised over $500,000 to support these now orphaned girls. But as the legal process unfolded, many were left frustrated by what they saw as an inadequate punishment for such a devastating loss of life. Why do I say that? Because Morales, who was 17 at the time of the crash, was initially charged with 2 counts of vehicular manslaughter. And despite efforts by prosecutors to try him as an adult, a judge ruled he would be tried in juvenile court. And the judge ended up finding him guilty of 2 counts of felony vehicular manslaughter, 3 counts of engaging in a street race that caused great bodily injury, and 1 count of engaging in a speed contest, but not guilty of second-degree murder. And what was his sentence? He was sentenced, again, for killing 2 people, leaving these 2 girls orphaned. He was sentenced earlier this month to just 90 days of electronic home monitoring. That's it. He has to stay at home with his parents at all times, except for going to things like school or medical appointments. Now, Morales had been in juvenile detention for around 2 years, and he was released to his family on his 20th birthday. But think about that. Because as you can imagine, that light sentence has sparked outrage, particularly with the victim's family.
There's no winners in this whole thing. Tragic. Of course, everybody feels horrible for the infant kids who are going to grow up without parents. It's awful. The kids who were racing and caused this thing, they were basically dumb kids making, poor decisions, acting impulsively. 90 days of probation, is that, that's not enough. That's not punishing enough. And there's a thirst for that from people and wanting to have people have consequences. And what should those consequences be? The other part is, what the criminal courts can't resolve. Hopefully the civil courts can by bringing lawsuits to recover money for these kids who will have no parents, who have been orphaned, and holding these kids, the families, financially responsible. But those are 2 separate things, criminal punishment and civil punishment. And I think sometimes those 2 kind of get mixed up. The parents' knowledge of their kids, driving fast, recklessly, racing, all that kind of stuff.
So the suit names Morales, Harrison, and even Morales' parents as defendants. And it alleges that Morales' parents, they were aware of their son's, quote, proclivity for reckless driving, yet still allowed him to take the car and drive that night. That's
going to create some liability for those parents because they did know, they didn't prevent it, they allowed them to drive the car. So that is going to fall on the parents. And I think it's going to send a message to a lot of parents of like, if your kid is reckless in a car and you know about it, that there could be some real liability for it, which is good because it makes everybody talk to your kids, that they don't understand that a moment's inattention or recklessness can forever change a lot of lives, not just their own. Making a mistake in a car can kill somebody. And that's something that just needs to be repeated and for young people to understand and appreciate so they don't go through something like this.
Let us know what you think in the comments below. And while you're down there, please like and subscribe. Thanks again for watching.